And I appreciate and I encourage people, when you have information that can make people money and can make somebody's relationship better, they can grant somebody peace, they can make somebody feel good about themselves, please understand that the more that you share that with people, the more you're going to get blessings back. You don't need to be a gatekeeper.
You're making the world better.
Yeah, you don't need to be a gatekeeper of information or fashion. Like, nothing on this planet was just designed for you. Like, it's
quite the opposite.
It's for everybody. Yeah, it's for everybody. And the more you share, the more you get blessed.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to What's in Your Feed. Our guest today is a very special guy. He has a podcast about mental health. He's an audio producer. He's an actor. He has a lot of stuff. You can search for him on the web in Scorpio Rising, his podcast, and also his website, Nicky Scorpio. So here's Nicky Scorpio. Hello.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh, Nicky, it's a pleasure. So how are you? How is everything with your feed?
Really great, actually. Yeah, I'm glad to be sharing because I've definitely in the past couple months, like, I've really been focused on meditation and on manifesting and on staying in a healthy place with all the other stuff
craziness
going on in the world. Yeah. So things are really great. Katie, who introduced me to you guys, we have a now very award-winning web series called Couples Therapy that's been doing really well in the film festival circuit. I have a song out on all streaming services right now, and probably like 8 different other things that are in the works right now. But yeah,
you've been pretty busy.
Yeah. Well, it's like if you're not busy in some way, shape, or form, even if it's just like meditating right now, then you're gonna go stir crazy. So
no, that's very healthy. No doubt about it. Yeah. So what do you bring us today from your feed?
So I have some great ones. And this is, I was raised to basically find my own version of spirituality. That I have very religious parts of my family, and I have more like spiritual people in my family. I even have atheists in my family, extended family. And so I grew up basically finding my own way. And in this process, specifically when I moved back, I went born and raised in the Bay Area, moved to New York, met Katie, and moved back to the West Coast. And when I was in Los Angeles, I really got into healing. I really started connecting with shaman, with people that are in the yoga world, with people that are like Reiki healers and things of that nature, stuff that for some people might be a little bit out there. However,
it helped you.
Yeah, I myself am very energy sensitive, and I believe in it. And these are pages that I've been going to, and people that I actually know, where I've been getting big results. And so the first one that I have on my list is Shaman Durek. He's really great. What I like about him, there's a lot of people in the spiritual world who are very like, we're all one, we're all beautiful, until like you disagree, and then like all of a sudden you're evil, or you're low vibration.
It all goes down.
Like and what I like about him is he's no nonsense. If people are like in that place of being a victim or something, it's not just like, oh, my child, everything works out how it's supposed to. It's like, no, like this is this, and you can have a
stuff is gonna go down, and you got to toughen up.
Yeah. So like you can have a healthier relationship with your ego, with your subconscious mind. So that's him right there. He's amazing. And for anybody who's into podcasts, like all of your beautiful listeners, he has a really great podcast, Ancient Wisdom Today. And his podcast, not only does he have like amazing insight, but he also, I don't know if he's still doing it because I do so many different meditations, but his meditations, if you go back into earlier episodes, kind of at like the beginning, he has meditations that are working with sound frequencies that are some of the most powerful meditations that I've ever done, which was
he puts music with different sounds that in some form help you meditate.
Yeah, exactly. And it's fascinating because I've never really done any kind of like remote stuff where like somebody's not even around me, and then
and
like
they're
I'm
getting
still, yeah, and I'm
getting
still
the
feeling
vibes.
it. Like even before he says, you know, because there's a lot of breathing that's involved, because the oxygen gets into our brain and it slows us down and can heal us by different kinds of breathing. And he'll say something of like, you're going to cough, or you're going to yawn, or you're going to do something, and I'll do that before he says it. Like he's really,
It's
really,
like
really
hypnotism.
good. Yeah. So
It's
he's
so
really
cool.
great. So the next one is really fascinating. I found it on TikTok. By the way, I'm late to the TikTok party. And
Yeah, me too.
TikTok for education is out of this world. Like
Really?
if you're into cooking, if you're into spirituality, if you're into,
But aren't those just little videos, very short?
yeah, absolutely. I've been getting into cooking more. There's really great recipes for cooking.
That's
And
amazing. I
yeah, and
didn't
also
know.
for producing. Yeah, so this one's really cool. It's called The Gateway Process, and I found this out on TikTok. And what's really interesting about it is this is actually what the CIA has used to help people with remote viewing, to help
I
people
know.
raise up
Yeah.
their psyche. And I've been doing this for about 4 days now, and it's a combination of sound frequencies. And this guy who sounds like he's from like the 1950s or something, he's like, you're now going to close your eyes and you're now going to visualize. It's like that. It's amazing.
Have you had some results?
I actually, I wish I could do
Just
it before
4
and
days.
after. I actually look younger after I did a meditation the second day. Like
You're more relaxed.
I did. Yeah. Like I did. I feel way more clear. I feel way more grounded. There's more of like a sparkle in my eye, like my spirit, my vibe, my vibration, my frequency is raised up from it, that I was able to go into really traumatic parts of my past, of my childhood, and create new beliefs and actually remove those traumas, which again, for people who aren't in that world, might sound weird to think that you can like actually heal.
No, but it makes sense.
Trauma,
it changes the way you see your past experiences.
Yes, yeah, I highly recommend that one. That's a really cool one. And
yeah,
like
that's
the
cool
CIA
because
used it.
yeah.
So weird.
Because you also, people have to find the meditation that suits them.
I want to talk about this really briefly because people get so intimidated by meditation.
Yeah.
When I'm in New York, when I'm on the subway, when I'm just in motion, when I'm walking around, if I'm in like the doctor's office and I have a meeting in 2 minutes, I'm gonna like, I don't have to even close my eyes. I'm just going to setting an intention.
Put yourself in that mode.
Just removing like the frustrations from my day so that I can actually be present.
Pretty powerful.
Is really good. And the gateway process meditation actually talks about that in the beginning of your meditation, you have a box and you can put all of your thoughts that you're having, good or bad or whatever, you can put them in the box and close that box. And I definitely like that thought process because it keeps me grounded and centered. But yeah, meditation doesn't have to be some intense thing. You don't have to like cross your legs. You don't have to, say anything. You could literally just close your eyes and say like, I choose to feel good, or I choose to feel peace, or whatever.
That's a superpower.
Yeah. And the more you do it, the more clear it gets, and the more powerful it gets. That with everything that I'm sharing as far as meditation and healing, belief is such a powerful and important part of that.
You have to be open to that stuff. For it to work.
Because if you've been raised, like, people have weird beliefs around success, around finance, around their health. They've been taught this thing of that, like, they need to be humble, and humble means that you need to be small, and it's like, no, all of this stuff was made by whatever you believe in or don't believe in. It's meant to be.
Yeah, especially Catholics. I think I live in a Catholic country, and there's a lot of that. There's a lot of stay in your place, don't make scenes, don't just try to be ignored.
And that's stuff. And that's another part of this conversation is that the people that I connect with are seekers. Like, I have friends from all different walks of life, right? Like, my thing is, it's interesting to me. I've always been curious by nature that like there are certain things that if somebody just tells it to me, I'll say, okay, that's cool. However, when it comes to a higher power or when it comes to healing, I've always wanted to get to the very root, and I'm fascinated that people just get told something and then they just accept it. Like I believe in God. Like I've seen the light of God, and I know that's what it was. If somebody doesn't believe, that's okay. However, feeling the way that I felt when I experienced that and feeling the way that I feel when I heal only makes me want to learn more and to have like the truth instead of this like marketing plan of who God is or God isn't, or Jesus is this way or that way and the Bible says this and says that. Like I know what I know, and I know the truth, and I encourage people that are seekers, that are believers, to, you know, and that's I'm so glad that we're talking, is because my conversation with people is like, you might need to change the hashtags that you're following. You might need to look at when you're going online, when you're getting that dopamine hit, when you're on TikTok, when you're on Instagram, and you just keep on scrolling and scrolling. You're not aware that the algorithm is watching where you put your attention.
Oh yeah,
on.
definitely.
So, right. So in the same way, in life, if you have, you know, 4 friends that are broke and you have one friend that has a dream, that one friend is going to be the only, if you're like that one person, all the rest of these people, if you're telling them some big dream or some vision you have, those other people are going to have like unhealthy beliefs, or they're going to make fun of you, or they're going to tease you. It could be family, it could be friends, it could be
there's a lot of that.
Right. And so, you know, from me, it's like when I started focusing and using social media primarily for education, I've leveled up and I've healed and I've learned so much, and I've been able to share and create so many different opportunities because I'm not watching fights. I'm not watching politics. I'm not watching somebody just over and over again showing like violence. There's a balance. It's important to see what's going on and not like close our eyes and, oh, the world's perfect. Like,
but
no.
You have to have your own mind and search for stuff that fulfills you, right? And
totally.
And grow as a person.
Yeah. So on that note, this is another meditation that I do, and I've been doing this one daily. It's Vision is really cool. He has a company called Mind Valley, which is one of the most interesting companies that's in the world of education. It's basically a well-rounded education. So like, you know how to memorize stuff better, you know how to speed read, you know how to be more effective without working as much, you know how to work with energy. It's like people who have dedicated their life to different aspects of health, wellness, finance, all these different things, are giving you information that's not easily available. So he has a meditation called the 6-phase meditation, where he did tons of research. He's tried all these different kinds of meditations, hooked up wires to his brain and stuff like that. And actually has like photos of it. He looks like a mad scientist. Yeah, he's really, really, really cool. What I like about this meditation is I heard about a week ago from a really solid dude named Forbidden Knowledge, the number 4 and then Bidden Knowledge. And he's another person to check out. But he talks, because he gives a lot of speeches, and he talks about how the frequency of being grateful is how you can manifest. And so what I like about this meditation, and I've been doing this for like a couple years, but it just ties into what this meditation is about, is you're sending love and compassion to your neighborhood, to your home, to your city, to the nation, to the world. And then you're focusing on, like, I like to focus where he says, give 3 examples where where you felt really happy, where you felt a lot of joy. And I always think about, and it's kind of a silly thing, but when I was taking care of my grandmother, I would go to the drugstore to get her prescriptions. I would go to like concertos for classical music because she didn't have anybody to go with. And I always think of those moments that I might have taken for granted at the time,
Yeah.
where I'm just hanging out with my grandma and I'm seeing everybody smile and how happy she is and how much joy that it brought me. So focusing on things like that. And then there's another really, really big part where you focus on forgiveness, which is tricky for certain things. However, when we forgive people,
you let go a lot of stuff from yourself. A lot of heavy stuff lifts from yourself.
We don't realize that we're all carrying trauma in some way, shape, or form from years ago. And some of us have done more work and more effort to heal it, but we don't even realize, like I was talking with somebody about this a couple of days ago, people that have like quote unquote low vibrational energy or negative energy, people that like put down ideas and stuff, they don't even realize that they have negative energy. Like they're not even aware of it. And when I really started doing what they call like the work and realizing, even though like I thought that I was always the right one and it was other people who were getting in my way, when I realized about like projecting and how I see the world and how I had been avoiding certain thoughts and certain aspects of my life, like I'm doing this because I want to continue to grow younger. Like I want to be 90 years old and just be happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like there's some people that are just like old and like, oh, the food's overcooked or it's undercooked or I don't like this and this is bad. And then you have the other person who's like chilling in the retirement home and they're happy even though like they have every reason to be frustrated. So yeah, the 6-phase meditation is really, really good. It's like 20 minutes long. And if you're somebody who wants to do more manifesting and focus on being grateful for it, I definitely highly recommend that. And just to look in Mind Valley in general, that's a really, really good one. Now we're going to get into some a little bit more what they call woo-woo kind of stuff. Okay. Sapien Medicine is really fascinating. Sapien Medicine, I actually use this every single night when I go to sleep, because I go to sleep, I should say, in the morning. I go to sleep anywhere from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning. And then like I wake up at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And he has one, if you type in Sapien Medicine sleep, and there's one where you can actually sleep less. And
so your sleep is more productive in
yes,
a way?
Need less sleep, but you wake up more energized. And I've been
efficient sleeping.
Yes, exactly. We don't realize Mind Valley. There's a guy at Mind Valley who talks about this. We always get told that you need 8 hours of sleep, and there's new research that shows that everybody has like peak hours of being awake and of being tired. So like I can be a morning person. I do need strong coffee. I do need strong coffee.
I think we all.
Yeah. Well, I'm not Katie. I tell people coffee drinks her. She is like so energized. I'm like, what? Like, we only need really like 6 to 8 hours, sometimes less, if we go deep enough in our sleep state that we can get less sleep and be more effective. So
this is playing while you're asleep, or it helps you fall asleep?
I play that one as I'm going to sleep. Most of these I can play when I start my day off. And it's interesting because there's sound frequencies that are put in this in a different way. And I'm not an expert about it. I'm not going to pretend that I am. I just know that
it works.
It works. And there's something really for everything, from like your thyroids to your muscles. They did a study where they had people sitting down every day for 10 minutes thinking about their body being in better shape, like being stronger, and they actually gained muscle. So that's how powerful our minds are. Yeah,
I heard about those studies.
So that's, again, that ties into beliefs. So this is really, really cool.
Mind is amazing.
Yeah, it's so fascinating, and I've recently become more aware my thoughts, my beliefs, and what I can actually do when I get around other people that have negative energy, how to protect myself, or just different things. Like if somebody's weird, then I can just like kind of just shake it off and send it that way, and I feel it. So that's a really cool one that I've been doing. And then this one is also this one's also really interesting. I found recently, Moza Morph has not only, and she works in the health field, that she's actually, she's gone to college, she has a degree. So it's a combination of, it says science and medicine, which I definitely, when I do anything that's like spiritual, I try as much as I can to give people stuff with research, with actually, like this actually works. I might not know the scientific technical terms, but I know that there are people that are getting benefits. I myself am getting
that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's why the internet is so great and why I love your show, because there's so much information out there if you're open to it that can transform you. So I like Moza Morph's ones, the subliminals. It's fun, and again it is belief, but it's sound frequencies, but it's also subliminal. It's only sounds. No. Oh, it's also subliminals in it. It's also subliminal messages. And again, this is out there. I'm not expecting for everybody to be like, I need to run and go do this. It's like
programming your body through audio and video and stuff like that.
Yeah. The same way you turn on television and
you're programming yourself.
You watch the news. If you watch the news every single day and they tell you the world is scary, even if you're an optimistic person, you're still going to walk outside like, oh my God, so there's a lot of different things, anywhere from like physically looking better. I like to use the one for the mental health. If you're looking, there's people that have literally shown, they're like, look, like I've grown taller. So it's really, really, really interesting.
It's a bit out there.
It's definitely, this is the most out there out of all the ones that I have. Let me see. And then, so moving right along, I learned how to be a video editor because I had a video editor that was an award-winning editor give me a video and it was terrible. It's like, it looked like it was from the 90s without trying to look like it was from the 90s, like tons of glow effect, tons of contrast. And I'm just like, I can do this. So I went on to this lovely website right here, University of YouTube, and I learned, starting with this guy, Max Novak. If you are someone who is a video editor, or if you want to be self-sufficient within video editing, if you want to get more into like music videos, or if you just want to learn more kind of like trippy, cool things that you can do, Katie and I, we have our group, the Sophisticated Psychos, and we do a lot of different content.
Love the name.
Thank you. A lot of people seem to relate to the name. I feel like we're all geniuses, and the brilliance is, it's within the brilliant mind that we have. And so we were on the road. We actually shot a video when we were in Greece for a song that we had at the time called Cry Baby, available on all streaming services. And I spent 4 days, and we had come back to the United States, and we were thinking about moving to New York, but we were still kind of like in hotels on the road because we had been living in Los Angeles, and we were originally going to go to Atlanta because you can get like a 3-bedroom in Atlanta in a nice part of town for like $1,300 a month.
I know, I've been there. I've been to Atlanta.
Plus people are nice, and Southern hospitality.
It's super nice, super sweet.
Yeah. So I was in hotels literally watching this guy's video, because he's like, here's everything that I know, here's how to do it step by step, just don't like learn it for yourself and make it your own, don't like completely and totally copy me. And so I learned from him, working on Adobe Premiere Pro and
he has like courses, or it's like just single tutorials?
Courses, but he does have a lot of tutorials. Like people will see a cool music video that's out and they're like, yo, like I want to know how to do that thing where it looks like there's 5 of the same person, and he'll say, okay, cool, that's called masking, here's how to do it. And I like his style of teaching. He's very like straightforward, to the point, clear and concise. Really, really good. He's a great teacher as far as video editing. Now, for any musicians out there, and this isn't just for music, this is for promotion. If you're into marketing, promoting, advertising, this guy right here, the Smart Rapper, is giving. This is what I do. I'm always really, I have like allergies or something. I'm always really fascinated by when people have information and they hold it to themselves, thinking like, if I share this with people, that I'm gonna lose out on money, or like I don't know, whatever. And
that's like acknowledging that you're the worst. Like people gonna do much better than me.
Right. Yeah. It's an insecurity. Like, again, when I first moved to New York,
totally.
I really got into fashion, and I would ask somebody where they got some jeans from or something, and they wouldn't tell me. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So the designer made those just for you? Those are the only pair that exist in the whole world? That's so cool. How do I become that successful in life? That's so interesting that a brand name would just make one pair of jeans for you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, like I'm not gonna like jack your style. Like I'm just like, I'm a fan.
And you don't grow if you don't have other people that do what you do. You have no pressure to grow and learn more. So it's a very healthy attitude to explain and to share your knowledge.
Yeah, because if you're going through a rough spot and somebody gives you information, like how would that affect you? It's great, right? So you want to give the same thing from a place of like, I've got enough, I've got plenty. Like, and the more that I give, the more I'm going to receive. So
absolutely.
Smart Rapper is really cool. He gives inside information to what the music industry does and how you can actually make money, and how you can actually build up your following, stuff to actually like boost yourself up on the algorithm, because the algorithm, like I need to go to like couples therapy or something with it, because every week it changes. It's like, oh, you have to use like Instagram, for example. It used to be 30 hashtags, and then like about 1 or 2 months ago, it's like 12 hashtags. And I'm like, and I'm like, watch, next month is going to be 70 hashtags, and they all have to start with like the letter Q or something. Like, it's so
they're very temperamental, the
so
algorithms.
Weird. There's stuff that's on here that he shared where I'm just like, it's inside information of like, you think that all of these artists have, 5 million views and like 3 million followers, and it's all an illusion. And you can sit there and be mad, or you can learn how to play the game, and then you can get your foot in the door and
shows you the backstage a little bit.
Yeah, because if you want to win the game, you have to know how to play it. You have to know the rules, And so, those are kind of like my go-tos. Oh, this is a guy that I watch. If you're into sports, this dude is really, really positive. I grew up loving basketball, and Devontae Friga is such a positive person. There's tons of basketball players that are out there that show videos and tricks and how to do this and that, whatever. But look at these crowds. These are all like, and this is why I like watching this dude's page, because as an artist, as an entertainer, as an entrepreneur, I'm really big into psychology. I'm really big into studying how like the human mind works, and especially now. And
sports has a lot of psychology.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I noticed with this dude's following that it's all people that are like they look like they're like 17 to like 24, 25 years old. And I'm like, yo, all of these kids, all of these people here are like open. They're like, they're not hating on somebody else. Like, they're not watching this dude and being like, you're whack. There are people that trash talk, whatever, that's part of the sport.
Always.
But at the end of the game, that there's so much positivity and there's so much love, and that actually indirectly helped me to do a marketing campaign for my social media, which has been really successful, because I was like, oh, that's right. When you're in this state of mind, everything is exciting, everything is dope and is cool, and you want to learn about it. And if you're into basketball, or if you just maybe you kind of like basketball but you just want to see something positive, like, he's such a positive dude and really like a class act.
Is he playing with people on the street?
Yeah, exactly. So he has his team. He has his team and his people, and sometimes he'll switch up, but he's traveling all around the United States. Like he's going to Ohio, Kentucky, New York, and just basically hitting the road with his people. And
it's so cool to see so many people together.
Yeah, definitely. And when
especially right now.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And when you see the love and you see the positivity in the community, it's just another reminder of, as a human being, like that's what I need. Living in Los Angeles, there's different levels of entertainment, there's different levels of success. And when you get behind the scenes with people that are influencers, when you get behind the scenes of people, a lot of times, not always, because I do know some people that are wealthy, that are angels, that are such sweet people. However, a lot of times there are people that just really know how to put on a show. And then when the camera is not on,
it's their job.
Toxic. Yeah, it's their job, and they're good at it. And then the camera goes off and they're a completely different person, very, very judgmental, very toxic. Just a lot, again, like a lot of smoke and mirrors. It's
a life of appearances. Yeah. I think people now are starting to see a little bit behind that.
Yes.
Thank God. Yeah.
Thank goodness. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, it is really, really good, because my message has really been that if you could see, right, like, because I've built myself up from nothing. Like I come from humble beginnings, same way with Katie. Like when I first met her, I was really impressed because she's had such a great career and has done so many great things. And she never got a handout. She never, took like the easy path. Like I could have taken a different path and I could have already had massive success. But like I have my ethics and I have my values and my morals.
Yeah, and as long as you're happy, and if in that, I think that's a great point. You're happy with yourself. And because you follow your values, you don't feel like a sellout. You don't feel you're doing or you're, I don't know, somehow misleading people. I think that's so healthy and so great. And you have all the reasons to be thankful and to be happy with yourself.
Right. But that's that frequency of being grateful, that like, even if something happens, that you might look at it and it's like, it's devastating, right? Like there's examples of this where somebody might have the same job for 20 years, or somebody might be in a committed relationship, or you might have a home or something. And then all of a sudden it's gone. Or it changes or something like that. And it's devastating.
Yeah.
And that's human, that's understandable. However, how we react after that is really important. And with practice, you can get to that place of, instead of saying, why God, you could say, thank God, like, because you understand, or whatever you want to say, God is whatever you believe in, that you're thankful because you understand that you're connected, you understand that you're aligned, and that this thing that is frustrating is going to lead to an opportunity. And when I really started understanding this concept, it was amazing how many people left my life that weren't my real friends, that were just kind of there through like whatever phase that I was going through. And then when I really started believing in myself and really started having confidence, then all of a sudden like they're two-faced and they're telling me I think that I'm better than people. And you can do a lot. You can do a lot with your mind. You can do a lot with your beliefs, man. You can, and instead of just going online and just thinking like, I want to have a blue check, I want to be verified. Like there's a documentary on Netflix called Happy. I don't know if it's still on, but it talks about the psychology of happiness. And they go around to all these different places all over the world. And the happiest place where people are actually like the most content is a remote village in a really poor part of India. And it's literally, the secret to happiness is just having good people around you. It's not
and
about
living in the moments. Don't live thinking of what happened before or what's going to happen tomorrow, and just enjoy right there the present.
And also, having that village, that community, that tribe, when you're going through a difficult time, just to have somebody hear you. Like the month of May for me was really, really difficult. And I've talked about this recently, that in May, like I came to terms with the fact that I was depressed, and depression isn't forever. And it doesn't have to be a negative thing, but at least now I'm like, cool, I have depression. I've gone through a lot of stuff that I'm not just going to pretend that I need to keep on being strong and putting on a smile.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I can take a break, and I can educate myself and change up my diet and my beliefs, but just having the people in my circle, because entertainment, you're not allowed to be depressed. You're not allowed to, you have to be, like in acting and modeling, like you have to just, you get to the audition, you memorize your lines, and they don't care about your day. They don't care about your drive. They don't care about the fact that somebody just yelled at you, that it's your responsibility to do sometimes what seems impossible. And just having, again, a support system. Sometimes you have to create a new family, right? Like sometimes you share your dreams with your family, and we've all experienced this, where somebody in our family is like, you shouldn't do that, like you're not going to make money. Are you making money doing this? Like, get a real job. Like,
you have to think for yourself.
Like you,
and finding yourself the strength and the motivation to do the things that you really want.
And that's where, again, I acknowledge you for what you're doing, because everyone has something. It could just be comedy. There's tons of, I really like comedy. I love watching stand-up comedians. That's part of my algorithm on TikTok. Like, it's good to just have laughs. Sometimes it doesn't always have to be so serious, but my thing is that this is a tool. All of this stuff that's on here, anywhere you look at your videos, your history, your library, you can create playlists. Like you can literally take yourself out of the worst possible situation and completely and totally change your whole life and people's lives around you.
Yeah, it's always possible. And today we have so many things in technology that can unite us. And sometimes it's so sad to see that all of these things are being used for separation and bad influences and just spread hate, when we never had this opportunity to have so much good stuff. And we're using it in very wrong ways.
This is somebody I want to show you. Speaking of which, I actually got really, really, really inspired by this dude. MURPHSLIFE is such a positive page. What he's doing is he's getting his followers and his subscribers to donate like 50 cents, $1, $2, $3, $5, whatever they have. And then he's going to different parts in the world, and he's helping families where like the elders, so good.
This is amazing.
I get so emotional watching these videos and just even talking about it, because it's so positive. Because we're in America and we're thinking about like, I wish I had more of this. I wish I had more of that.
No, it's about having less.
There are elders that are sleeping on a mattress in dirt, like in a hut, like that are in not a really poor part of the world, but they're just living that way because of their circumstances and what they were taught. And you have people that are actually sleeping on the floor that are like barely surviving. And this dude gets like 30,000 people to donate $1, and then can get a family a home and can get them a business.
It's a great idea.
So good. And so I actually got inspired because of that.
Yeah.
And I've been in the process now of getting my nonprofit, because it was also called Scorpio Rising. And so for me, I go online and I listen to music, and I love all different kinds of music. And I'm seeing people that are showing like, buying a new Ferrari. Like I just got like this COVID money. So I bought a Ferrari, or like I bought a Lamborghini, or like I bought this new necklace. Like, look at how much I'm still getting money, even though nobody else is. And I'm like, I wonder how your fans feel about that, watching you promote this lifestyle when they're like one paycheck away from just like losing their mind.
And the thing is that he's miserable.
Yes.
That's the thing. Otherwise he wouldn't need a Ferrari.
That's exactly what it is, man. And again, like I want to emphasize that to people, because I know what it's like to feel desperate. I know what it's like to be like, if I just had like $20,000 right now, or $5,000 right now, like a lot of my problems would go away. I get that. I understand that. However, you will learn now, or you will learn when you're 90, that happiness is a choice, and that a lot of these entertainers like Scott Storch was a huge producer for hip hop. He was like the guy to go to, you know, and he had a drug problem and was addicted. And he was spending millions and millions of dollars on this drug problem. And he said everybody left him. Nobody called him up. He had no friends all of a sudden, but everybody wanted to go to his mansion parties. Everybody wanted to ride in his Ferraris or whatever. And again, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, specifically because I know that regardless of if you like the Kardashians or not, that Hollywood and entertainment is a major part of our society. And that mental health needs to be discussed and talked about. Definitely. And we need to take down these walls and these like curtains that give people this illusion of like, you know, this, if you do this, if you take this fast path, like if you grow up in the hood, that you have to like sell drugs, you have to play basketball, like you have to do this thing. And it's just not the case, you know? And for me, I want to show people, you know, that there are good people in this world. There are people that have other intentions. However, you know, I really just want to say, like, don't be so hard on yourself. Like, don't look at somebody else's life. Like you were talking about earlier, like, don't look at somebody else's life and think that they have it figured out, because if you, most
of the times they don't, they're really screwed up.
Like if you have one person in your life, and it sounds cheesy, but it's true. And I've learned it because I know people that are millionaires that don't trust anybody and they don't have real friends, you know, like if you have one person in your circle who loves you, who's like loyal to you, who unconditionally loves you,
that's priceless.
You're rich, like beyond. People would trade everything that they have in their garages and their homes to know what it's like to have like real loyalty and love.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for bringing all these matters. Because it's really, and I don't know how it is in the US, but here in Portugal, we feel like mental health is like a luxury, you know, because you don't have many people don't have the means, the time and the money to get to a therapist. Right. And I think we're seeing now a lot of depression and anxiety because of that, because during COVID, many people got lost and now they just don't have the tools or the money to go to a specialist or the tools inside them to overcome these difficulties. And it's super important.
This right here, this documentary.
Oh yeah.
This guy discovered the HIV/AIDS virus, and he took a MP3 recording and sent it off to a lab that was just a recording of the virus in water, sent it off to a lab thousands of miles away. They played that recording, that audio in just normal water and recreated the entire virus. That's how energy works.
So now, Nicky, I have to ask you to do your top 5.
I would say the meditation, the gateway process meditation. I'm actually going to do that after I get off this call, because I've gone so deep with this.
You need to release.
This would be number 2, because water memory, because the more you understand about energy and how it works, even if you don't believe, even if you're like, oh, there's those Venice Beach, Los Angeles people talking about energy or whatever. Like, I get that. I understand that. I'm saying that it is this is a scientist. This is the scientists, when you watch this documentary, the other scientists were trying to stop him from sharing this. First, they're like, this dude's lost his mind. He's like 80 years old and he's completely lost his mind. Then he actually proves, and they don't want to talk about it. And so from
we've seen this before.
MURPHSLIFE is really cool, just because again, you want to see something wholesome, if you want to see that there's goodness in the world and that it's not, people are like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. I'm like, no.
There's good people over here. Just look at the right places.
Showing you. Yes, exactly. Devontae Friga is really cool, just to see like that there's this really positive community, and he's like impacting, you know, these young kids that might not have a lot or might be going through a difficult time. I would say the Smart Rapper is my number 5, because again, even if you're not in music, he has shared websites and strategies that have already like impacted my social media really, really well. And I appreciate and I encourage people, when you have information that can make people money and can make somebody's relationship better, they can grant somebody peace, that can make somebody feel good about themselves, please understand that the more that you share that with people, the more you're going to get blessings back. You don't need to be a gatekeeper.
You're making the world better.
Yeah, you don't need to be a gatekeeper of information or fashion. Like, nothing on this planet was just designed for you. Like, it's all, it's a
quite the opposite.
It's for everybody. Yeah, it's for everybody. And the more you share, the more you get blessed. Yeah.
Thank you, Nicky, so much. For everyone, follow Nicky, go see his podcast, and go hear his podcast, Scorpio Rising, and just let the vibes in. He's a great guy, as you can see, and a lot of positivity. Thank you, Nicky, and hope to see you again soon.
All right. Peace.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.